Hi everyone, it's Anne. Welcome to my channel, Head Trip Creations, where I do mixed media portrait art of all types, but never hyperrealism. I just started a new series doing simple Oddity Girls. So instead of doing two separate videos, I decided to combine the two in this one. The video will start now. Enjoy. So starting on a 7x10 watercolor paper, I am using very dirty water and a large brush, and I'm using a very unorthodox approach to this portrait, if you will. Kind of like reverse engineering. So I'm blocking out all of the light by coloring in all of the dark, and I never created this character before, so I am just kind of winging it, and that's what I do. If I like it, I keep it. If I don't, I throw it out or salvage it for collage paper. So here I've already used the dirty water, a little bit of pen, and now I'm using Buttermilk acrylic by DecoArt, and it's almost like eggnog, and it's just a fantastic shade of beige. And I'm going over all of the dirty water, going over everything that I've done with the acrylic to kind of get maybe like a pasty look. Still at this point, not 100% sure what I'm doing. I'm not using reference. It's completely out of my head. And once I get this skin tone down and just the right shadows, I went into the background with white acrylic because I know I'm going to go over it again with the dirty water, and that way I get different kind of markings, different shades of gray. So while that's drying, I'm using a micron pen to define her eyes. So she's supposed to be whimsical. So I purposely made her eyes larger than usual and very far apart. So I'm being very mindful of that. You can see her eyebrows are just a simple, thin line, unlike other portraits that I do really thick eyebrows. And now I'm using very diluted black acrylic, and I'm letting the water pool where it wants to go. And when it dries, it's going to have kind of that stain look. And so even though I'm not doing a traditional kind of portrait, I'm still applying the principles like the shadow under the chin. So I wanted this piece to have kind of like a Morticia, Tim Burton kind of vibe, but I really wasn't sure what it was going to look like. I didn't have any reference. So now I'm using this old book paper that I've had for more than 25 years, probably 30. You can see how old it is. And I'm just going to let a little bit of it show on her face, but I'm going to paint right over it. And now with a precision bottle, I am starting to shape her hairstyle. Very simple. I'm doing like a little flip, like a little style from the 1950s. So we have bangs, we have the flip, and you can see how big her eyes are, but the lines are very simple. There's a lot of shadow, but it's monochromatic, not necessarily white and black, but it's cream and black. and I do use a little bit of white at the very end. So this is the dirty water that I mix with water and black acrylic, and other times, not in this piece, but in the next piece, because there's two pieces in this video. I use black India ink and water. So everything looks really shiny because it's wet and you have the bright white lights. So I'm just going over her complexion, her skin tone with the Buttermilk, changing brushes. This is a small bristle brush. And this is how she looks out of the bright white lights. So you can see how all the staining in her eyes and her lips. So I really loved the way it turned out. And then off camera, I added eyelashes, the little curls to her flip, and with a white gel pen, some ruffles around her neck. And I wanted to do another one. So here with the micron pen, I'm just doing a quick sketch, making sure that the eyes are very similar to the other one, very far apart, very large. Because even though they're not going to be exactly, the same, I don't want them to be identical. I want them to have similar characteristics. So that is definitely the hallmark of creating a character. You have to know which features really define the character, whether it's the hairstyle, the colors, the positioning of the features. And here I'm just using the dirty water just to minimize the white. And then again, the Buttermilk, just like I did in the other piece. So now the similarities already are the skin tone. And I'm doing the same thing to the eyes. I'm applying very, very diluted black acrylic, dirty water to the eyes and the lips, and letting the water pool to get that staining. And then going back and forth with the Buttermilk. And in this piece, I'm using India ink with the water as well, and a gel pen, which is water soluble. And now I am with the India ink, which is much darker, really coloring in her hair. So the difference between her hair and the hair in the other pieces, her hair is longer, but still keeping it kind of straight, the bangs, the little flip, and the lips are very, very similar to the other one, and the nose. I kind of want that little pug nose, a little bit of shadow at the bottom, the single line for the eyebrows. So just trying to have continuity between all of the features. Just defining the lines. And now I used the old book paper in the other one for the neck, but this is from my stash, so it's actually, heavier paper. And then once I glued it down, I'm going into the white that's already there and doing like little checkers, and I thought that made it really whimsical. It's a micron pen. A little tedious, but very worth it. And now with the micron pen, black on black, doing some lines, which I later go into it a little bit with white, just so they show up a little bit more, and balance the white that's in the neck. And now I wanted the complexion to be very almost like the Buttermilk in the other piece, but I didn't want to use acrylic again, so I used pan pastel. And now I was wondering what was missing, and I realized that the background needed to be darker because it just creates a whole new vibe to the overall piece. So I'm using diluted black India ink, going over her hair as well. And then I go into her eyes to make them just a little bit darker. Add a little shadow to under her chin. And now I felt that the expression in her eyes, I wanted them to be as close as possible as the other piece, kind of like a little relaxed, more relaxed. So I added some shadows under the upper lid. And now to add a little element of whimsy, I'm using the white gel pen to add the little curlicues at the tip of the hair, some lines on her bangs and all the way down. But I'm holding the pen very, very loose to get those skips. I'm not applying any pressure. It's almost as if I was using a paintbrush. And now I'm using the black gel pen to go outside of the lines around her lips just to get that element of whimsy. And it is done. This is how they look outside of those bright white lights. And now you can compare the similarities and the differences. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching me create both of these Oddity Girls. If you have any questions about my process or materials, which I've detailed below, leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. And if you're new to my channel and you haven't subscribed yet, I hope you will because I upload regularly. Until the next video, take care. I'll see you soon.